Today, we've got a very special 30 days of 30 principles that have built my business from 0 to 7 figures. And why am I talking like this? Well, it's because the electricity has literally just gone out in my office, but I got to do this video. And so I could not have introduced a better topic today than the function over form topic. And I'll explain why it's kind of a little bit ironic that was the video that I was going to do today. So, and I'll get back to that, but function over form, okay? Let's imagine that as I'm doing this video, this whiteboard goes crashing to the ground, right? I've got a couple of options, right? Form says that I should walk out that door right there and walk to the hardware store in the pouring rain with the lightning and go buy a screwdriver, right? But here's the thing. If I did that, there's risk involved. I can get struck by lightning. It's raining really hard. Cars could not see me while I'm crossing the street. They could slam on their brakes. They can hit me. But there's also introducing the risk of me spending time doing that, right? If you calculate my my cost per hourly wage, it might not be the best use of my time to do that, right? So there's all kinds of risk that's involved. Monetary risk, time risk, environmental risk. Function says that I can literally walk to my office kitchen over there and actually just grab a butter knife and could actually fix this, right? So that's function over form. So what does that have to do with the electricity going out? Well, every single day I had told you guys that I was going to do a video talking about the 30 principles that built my business from 0 to 7 figures. So what does that have to do with the electricity going out? Well, I'm going to tell you. I'm actually executing function over form right now, right? I have some fancy equipment all over there. But here's the thing, I am using the simple phone that I'm using right here because I don't want to wait. Like, this is the most immediate constraint is I have to do this video. And so that is function over form. I'm not going to wait and do the fancy stuff. I'm going to get what I need to get done here right now. So what does that actually mean for you and your business? Well, I'll give you an example. So in Lean on Laurel, students get access to me via Voxer. And by the way, this is where being in Lean on Laurel actually will save you a bunch of time. So I had a student who wanted to launch a beta version of a new program that she wanted to test. And she wanted me to actually take a look at a sales page that she had written over Google Documents. And she was like, I need to build this sales page and I need to do all of this. And I said, actually, I don't think that you actually need to do that. I was like, well, let's take one step back. And I said, well, how are you actually going to sell this? And she said, well, I'm going to send this to my email list. And I said, check this out. And this is where I'm going to introduce the principle of micro stepping. Okay. One of the things that Nick Peterson has taught me is that we should always find the next micro step, meaning what is the next littlest, tiniest step that we can take right now that's going to be able to solve our problem, right? A lot of times people think, oh, I need to sell something. I need to go build a sales page. Well, no, the next immediate micro step that you need to take is to offer that to one person, right? There's a difference. And so what I told my student was, I think the next micro step that you need to take is, I think you should just send your email list this. Hey guys, over the next X amount of days, I am planning to do this, and this is just me testing this theory out. I don't even know if I'm gonna like this program, but I am open to taking 10 of you guys in at this super low price. And again, I'm not promising that I'm gonna offer this, but this is what I'm doing. And I said, just send that to your email list, plain text, nothing fancy, right? I believe that that's the next best micro step that you can take in order to see if you're gonna get people who want to take part in this beta test. And she literally came back to me 2 hours later and was like, oh my God, Laurel, I literally booked all of my beta seats out with that one email. And I said, see? And she's like, you literally just saved me hours of work. And I was like, that's why we always look at what is function over form, because what she was about to do was look at form over function. She thought that she needed this sales page when really she just needed to put the offer in front of people. My mentor, Nick, he has like one of the best examples. And so if you go to Nick's website, there's a thing that says speak with Nick, right? And if you go and hit that button, it actually takes you to an error 404 page. And everyone always messages Nick and they say, hey, you should really change your website because anytime that I go and try to talk to you, it gives me this error. And if you know anything about myself and my mentor, we optimize our entire marketing to have conversations with people. And so if you look at the brilliance of that function over form, that 404 error actually has a function. Instead of people immediately getting on his calendar, they message him and say, hey, your 404 thing, your website's not working because it's got a 404 error. He's actually optimizing for more conversations. He's not necessarily optimizing for more booked calls. He's optimizing for more conversations. And so function over form, the 404 error is actually doing the thing that he wants more of. And so if he actually went and changed that button and corrected it on his website, he would get less of the thing that he wants the most, which are conversations. And so if we start looking at things as a function over form, we could actually solve a lot of problems a lot quicker with a lot less risk, and by actually recouping some of that time that we spend building things that we actually don't need to build, right? Everyone told me whenever I first started, Laurel, you need this funnel thing, right? I didn't even know what a ClickFunnels was at the time. And I was like, I don't think I need that. And so the way that I sold my offers for the first, couple of months that I was in business, and by the way, I did this my first and second 6 figures doing it this way, was I literally just did Facebook Lives. I gave away Google Documents, and then in that Google document, it had a link for them to book on my Calendly, and then I would take them to Zoom, and then they would, if they wanted to work with me, I would send them a PayPal link. That was a funnel, right, in the sense of a sales process. But everyone was trying to sell me the form of something like ClickFunnels or Kartra, all of these tools, right? And most of the time, tools are just a form. They're not necessarily a function, because there's a lot of things that you could actually do to get the job done without having to buy all these fancy tools. And so another thing is, a lot of people said once we made our first million that Christina and I were actually going to have to get employees. Well, again, if you back into what is the next micro step that you need to take? So for instance, right, we need to get, because I've been doing so much content, we need to get thumbnails done. Well, people would be like, well, you can hire someone from, the Philippines or whatever to get those thumbnails. Well, if we do that, remember, we want to do things in the most efficient way without adding risk to our business. Anytime that you hire an extra person inside your business, that's going to introduce risk, right? You always hear the horror stories of people, losing accounts and all of this stuff because they hire someone who doesn't work within, the rules, and they end up losing a lot of money because stuff gets shut down. So anytime that you're hiring a person, that adds a lot of risk. And so one of the things that Christina and I did was we were like, okay, this is the thing that we need to get done. How could we do this? What is the next micro step that we can do in order to get this done that offers the least amount of risk? And so a quick Google of AI tools that could help us get that done, that was the function over form. We didn't have to hire another person. We literally just took 10 minutes to learn one trick with AI. And now I'm actually able to get my thumbnails done, and I'm doing it within less than 5 minutes a day. And so that was easily something that I could get done. And that's things that come up in our business all the time, is like, okay, do we need to add someone? We've been able to grow our business to over $3 million now over the last 6 years by just operating on this one principle, function over form. It's super, super important that we understand at all times, like today, what is our most immediate constraint? Like, what is the one thing that if we solved this one problem today, it would actually help our business grow? And every single day you need to be able to identify what is the one constraint that I need to eliminate today, and what is the way that I can actually eliminate that constraint given the least amount of risk, okay? So if there's anything that you take away from this video today, is a couple of things, right? One, are you spending a lot of money on tools when other things could actually function in the same way? And two, are you able to identify that most immediate constraint and be able to troubleshoot your way to being able to solve that problem using a function, again, that will not introduce new risk to your business. So hopefully this video was very valuable to you. Like I said, this has probably been, there's a reason that this is principle number 2 inside my toolkit of everything that I've used, all of the principles, all of the people that I've learned these from over the last several years in order to grow my business from 0 to 7 figures over the last several years. So if you got a lot of value out of this, let me know, drop me some love, and I'll see you guys on the next video.